My name is Susan Taylor Ridges. I was born at the Oldie Hospital in Ogden, Utah, April 27, 1938, to Lowell Walker Ridges and Emily Taylor. She was 28 years old when she met my dad. Lowell had gone into business with his brother Harris, and they had built a successful auto repair shop. They married June 18, 1937 in the Salt Lake LDS Temple. Both my parents were happy to be an eternal family. We lived on the Ridges property. My first picture was taken in the Coles yard. They cultivated a truly exquisite garden. They were our neighbors and were really loved by Mother. Mom and Dad were able to beautify the vacant lot cottages and family home with starts of prize iris and other beautiful plants from the Coles yard. 2 years after my birth, my sister Eleanor joined our family, and Dad and Mom bought and moved into the Ridges family home. 4 years later, my brother James was born. I was not quite 6 years old at that time. As children, we were very involved with Dad in gardening, weeding, and mowing. Mother, being an expert cook, taught us to can the apples, apricots, grapes, and plums, which grew in abundance on our property. The spacious lawn in front was perfect for all kinds of fun. Croquet, tumbling, and climbing the apple tree were activities we loved. Saturday mornings were busy with chores, shampoos, and practicing piano. My favorite toys were my dolls. I'm pictured holding Christine. I made her a dress while attending my first sewing classes in junior high. Many friends my age lived along Adams Avenue. A few of us have remained good friends and neighbors over the years. Our LDS church was only a block from our home, and we enjoyed the walks to and from our 2 meetings each Sunday. My primary class friends are pictured next to the church. Dad's favorite activity after meeting was to take photos of us in our Sunday best. Our testimonies were built early in our lives with daily family prayers and attendance at Sunday school and sacrament meetings. Birthday parties were great fun. Our cousins Dorothy and Marilyn Ridge were our babysitters. They helped Mother when she had large parties of children to manage. School days were fun as well. I loved school and had wonderful teachers. I walked to Washington School each morning with my sister, brother, and friends. We attended school at the same location from kindergarten through 9th grade. Special memories at Washington Junior High School were being part of the Trojan News staff under the direction of my favorite teachers, Miss Gillen and Miss Boyd. During these years, my dad not only worked long hours at his auto shop, but tooted his French horn in the Ridges Brothers band. Summer vacations in Idaho to see Grandmother Taylor and Mother's family in Rexburg and Idaho Falls were so much fun. We looked forward to the visit each summer and always stayed at the Stoll and Taylor family cabin at Mac's Inn. There was a river close by where we could get in the water, and my dad was off to his favorite fishing holes. Each trip included a day in Yellowstone, which became a must-see destination. Piano lessons Thursday after school were an important activity. I owe my ability to play the piano to my dedicated teacher, Dot Louder. Another favorite activity was bicycle riding. Eleanor, James, and I all learned to ride without training wheels on my dad. It gave us such freedom. I once rode over 10 blocks from my home out to the Ogden River Bridge and back just for the fun of it. Camp Lamondi was a real adventure for me. All the girls in the state went up the same week. I was able to hike to the top of the Ben Lomond Peak the second year. My best friend Joanne and I took a wrong turn on the way down from the summit. It was a frightening experience for both of us, just 13 years old, to be lost on the mountain. I gained my testimony of the Book of Mormon as I finished reading it and prayed to know if its truthfulness while there at Camp Lamondi. I eventually became one of the camp counselors during my high school years. time. During my senior year at Ogden High School, I met Claire Barrow. He had been on a mission and in the Army and was a student at Weber College. Early that spring, he told me he loved me. That declaration was actually his proposal of marriage. The diamond came a year later on my 19th birthday. During the 2 years I attended Weber College, my focus was on my teaching degree, but I joined the Charmea sorority and enjoyed being part of the Voce Coeds and choir. But as a girl engaged to be married, my last trip with my Ridges family was extra memorable and fun. We visited the beautiful botanical gardens and park in San Francisco and drove our new Chrysler right through one of the giant sequoias in the redwood forest. It was my first glance at the Pacific Ocean. We had been engaged a little over a year and were in love and excited to get married. My father was my bishop at the time and interviewed me for my temple recommend. There were a total of 80 couples going through the Salt Lake Temple on June 6, 1958. So I went through the temple for my endowments the evening before. I had forgotten to pick up my rented wedding dress that afternoon, so we went the next morning without it. I have since been glad, for I was married in my own homemade temple dress, and each time I wore it afterward, I was reminded of one of the most memorable days of my life. Later that evening at our reception in the 27th Ward Cultural Hall, I wore the rented dress, and Claire literally swept me off my feet as we waltzed to the Ridges Brothers Band starring Uncle Owen. I wasn't the only one who forgot something. That evening we drove to Logan to begin our honeymoon to Yellowstone, but Claire had forgotten to reserve a room there. No worries, we enjoyed the next few days together. Our first two moves and our first two little girls came in the next 2 years. We moved into my parents' apartment and welcomed our first child, Cynthia, born September 29, 1959. I also did my student teaching at Van Lomond High and the following spring quarter of 1960. This allowed me to finish up and graduate with a bachelor's degree from the University of Utah in the spring of 1960. Both Claire and I had a firm commitment to finish our college degrees, and we encouraged our children to follow suit, which they all did. Janet came along 14 months later. These babies were close, almost like having twins. Both Claire and I were up at night with them, as they usually woke each other up at the same time. I loved taking a year off from school to enjoy my babies, and also enjoyed sewing for all of us. Over the next few years, I put my sewing skills to the test and made suits and jackets for my husband, coats and dresses for my mother, myself, and my little girls. I began teaching piano lessons to children in the neighborhood. Teaching one pupil at a time was a lot of fun. In the spring of 1961, I took on my first school teaching position. Claire encouraged me and helped with our children without complaint, or it would not have been possible. In 1967, we bought a lot and we began construction on our dream home in Uinta. Our first son, Craig, was born July 7th, 1968. We moved into our new home the next summer, July 24th, 1969, the same day the astronauts splashed down after walking on the moon. Craig had just celebrated his first birthday. What an exciting time for all of us. I loved being a mom. I had a lot of help. Claire loved being a dad, and he loved spending time with the kids, and we both did. We were a team from the beginning of our marriage. Cynthia was an excellent student in school and made many lasting friendships among her high school associates. Her caring nature naturally led her to seek a nursing degree as soon as she graduated from Bonneville High. She married Randy Howley, October 14, 1977, who was also in her graduating class. Their wedding and reception was in our home and yard. Janet was a singer and performer from the time she was small. She sang one of the leads, Anita, in West Side Story and also excelled in student government and in school. She attended Weber College and met Kirk Rawson in a music group there and married Kirk February 4th, 1983. Their wedding in the Salt Lake Temple with a reception that evening in the Cultural Hall of the Colby Road Church. Craig was always interested in bikes and bike riding, as well as baseball and football. He was a good student, excelling in science and math. He and his biker friends loved going riding in the sand dunes and hiking into the Uintas to camp and fish. He earned his Eagle Scout rank and served his LDS mission in Peru. He married his high school sweetheart, Kate Seaborg, August 1st, 1992 in the Salt Lake Temple. Our daughter Nancy was born in 1972, February 7th, which was just a week before Valentine's Day. So we had a little sweetheart when she was born. Nancy was born with her dad's fun-loving, friendly personality and was always happiest serving in her school settings. Her leadership talents became apparent when she was chosen sophomore class president and 2 years later as senior class president of Bonneville High. There she met and married Larry Collingwood. Their reception was in our backyard. Joel was born in August of 1976. He was born on the 5th of August, and he was our little hoped-for boy. Joel has always been good at any type of sport. His friendly, happy attitude helped him be a team leader as well as a student body leader. His passion about winning and excelling has given him many opportunities. He served in his Toronto mission. After marrying Lisa Cottle in the Bountiful Temple on July 7, 1999, their garden reception was held in our yard. We loved all our kids. They were all special, but very, very different. Highlights of our next 30 years included Claire's service in the bishopric with Lester Bell, and my callings as World Relief Society president. During those years, Claire earned a media director's degree and continued working as the librarian at Central. Claire was actively involved with the Cub Scouts and later with the Boy Scouts. He was also involved with our sons on many of the young men's outings and Pinewood Derby competition. As our children grew up, they participated in many different activities. We loved going to their games and performances and helping with their campaigns. All of them were good students and attended Weber State on scholarships. We loved being with them and their friends.
My mom is one of the most talented, beautiful, awesome women I know. She is non-judgmental and one of the most Christ-like people I've ever known. She is my hero, an example of seeing the best in everyone. I also love the way she exhibits her undying testimony and strong devotion to Heavenly Father in all she says and does. Although she seems practically perfect in every way, she is never condescending and quick to apologize.
My mom is talented, devoted, spiritual, driven, lovely, caring, hardworking, and an example. Mom is good at teaching, playing the piano, cooking, sewing, family history, and many other things. I love my mom because she took time to teach me the things she knew how to do. She loves me and her family unconditionally, and she has always supported and encouraged me. My mom is my hero because of the excellent way she took care of our dad after their accident. Mom is an example of dedication to her family and to her God.
That she embodies the example of charity. She is always happiest when she's serving someone else. She loves to share her talents with others. She is always cooking something for a party that someone might need help with, or playing the piano or the organ, and that she is so happy when she's able to share with others and serve them.
My mom is a great example of service. She's always willing to help in any way. She's always serving her family and her friends in her many church callings. She is a great example of how to be a good visiting teacher. She's a great example of how to hold and be grateful for her church callings. I think that my mom is such a great example of courage and of independence. She sets her mind to something and she goes after it, and even if she's never done it before, she is brave and courageous and will try new things.
I love my mom because she has loved me so unconditionally and so thoroughly. I think of how she cared for Dad for those 8 years, day and night, and it was a heroic effort and took every bit as much courage and grit and guts. She's got so many wonderful talents and abilities that are worthy of emulation and that have blessed my life and the lives of my family.
Growing up in the Barrow house was fun and busy, and there was always something going on.
Janet and I were the only ones for such a long time. It really kind of seemed like we were growing up in a small family. We were raised as twins. I was the blue twin, she was the pink twin, and I don't think there were two more beautifully dressed little girls.
I have memories of Mom sewing beautiful clothing for us, especially dresses.
Growing up in the Barrow house was full of work, then play.
We all had to help clean the house and work in the yard and the garden with Dad.
Some of my favorite memories of home are memories of time when we were all working together.
Mom and Dad always worked so well together, and I admired that. Any job was enjoyable for them as they talked and worked together.
I love my parents for giving me that gift.
Mom and Dad helped us all the time with homework, and they helped us write jingles and slogans if we wanted to run for a student office. Mom taught us to play the piano, so there was practicing going on.
Our family and extended family were definitely number one.
We would often go on several family trips during the summer where we would visit the Barrow family, and we'd have great family reunions.
It felt like we spent all summer at Lava Hot Springs and Yellowstone and traveling around.
And also going on family reunions to visit my mother's sister. Those were wonderful times, and that taught us the importance of family and family relations, and it actually taught us to get along as a family.
They valued that family time and time we spent with cousins and friends and each other.
Growing up was wonderful. It was peaceful and safe and very orderly. We had fun and laughed. And
It was music that brought us together.
We loved to sing together.
we sang around the piano as Mom played and Dad sang. Really just a happy, involved life, and but a lot of togetherness, a lot of family togetherness.
Once Claire and I retired from teaching, we spent time traveling with Claire's brother Ken, who had joined a Good Sounds travel group. Winters were spent in company with our local LibreOffice chapter. We wintered in St. George, staying with our group at Dixie Downs. In January and February, our travels took us farther south to Quartzsite and Yuma, Arizona, and the San Diego, California area, including the Mexican Baja. Our traveling relatives and friends were so much fun to be with during these 3 or 4 winters Claire and I were members of the River Wafi. Our trailer travels changed abruptly in 1999 following a tragic accident involving our truck and trailer. Our trailer rolled, causing severe injury to Claire. Claire was stabilized and recovered over the next 3 months, enough to return home for Joel and Lisa's wedding, July 7, 1999. It was an amazing time of unity for our family. For the next 8 years, Claire overcame many serious complications. He never lost his testimony or the ability to love, laugh, and enjoy his family and friends. Claire was an example of patience and long-suffering without complaining. Claire was a great example to his family of enduring to the end. He died July 12, 2007, as a result of his neck injuries. Since Claire's death, I have served as an organist for the Madison Branch Relief Society. I was also privileged to serve as a temple ordinance worker. That assignment was pure joy to me. Presently, I attend the beautiful newly remodeled temple weekly, doing initiatory ordinances. My life has certainly been enriched by participating in the Seasoned Sisters activities. This is a monthly activity, and it has been uplifting and wonderful to make new friends and learn about them. Mornings are happy and active with my exercise classes at the Ogden Athletic Club. My daughter Janet teaches many of them. I have also joined the O-Town Ukesters and enjoy a weekly class on Wednesday evenings, relearning to play my ukulele. I joined Daughters of Utah Pioneers in the Uinta area. I love the Friends in DUP and am progressing in history writing. Our Claire Barrow family gathers each Sunday and includes all who can come to dinner for good food, visiting, a spiritual uplift, and a lot of fun. We also get to see our whole family at least twice a year during the Thanksgiving holidays. We still have the traditional turkey dinner and all the trimmings at my home in Uinta. Summer reunions have provided a week of fun that our whole family can participate in together. My 5 children have taken turns during the last 10 years to plan the locations and the activities that last 4 to 6 days. Large enough vacation cabins has added to the fun in each location because they provide accommodations to sleep, eat, 4-wheel, swim, fish, hike, and party, where we can be together for daytime and nighttime activities. Over the years, my life has been blessed in many ways, but if I could choose only one of the many, it would be the temple covenants and sealings of myself to my parents, husband, and children. Nothing but my relationship with my Father in heaven and his beloved Son, Jesus Christ, have brought me more joy. All of my 5 children and their spouses, and my 18 grandchildren and their families, which now number nearly 50, and include 11 great-grandchildren, are so very dear to me. My fervent prayers are that all of my family will live worthy of the wonderful priesthood and temple blessings available to them. How very sad it would be for me to contemplate my lonely state in the next world without them. I love you.
It was consistent little things that added up and do add up to greatness and a life well lived.